Warren, do you go for tries from the first whistle? How do you approach the game?
Just to win. I don't think our groups for us is going to come down to points difference, but we've got to go out there and we'll be endeavouring to first of all to win the game, and then after that, potentially scoring points. But it's not disrespecting Uruguay in any way. Just to go out there and hopefully play well, and the first priority is to win. I think we've got to put a lot of focus into these first two games, and that's what we're doing. We have a short turnaround for next week. We'll travel up and train on Monday and have that cap presentation. The boys got Tuesday off, so it's just a short training week for England. So we've mixed and matched a little bit this week in terms of the way we've prepared. So some of our focus has been on England, and the latter part of the week has been all in Uruguay. I think 4 years ago, we went into that first game against South Africa with a lot of confidence, believing that we were good enough to win that, and knowing that we'd come under the radar with the work that the players had done and the confidence that we'd got in the warm-up games as well. So, we were very unlucky in that game, but there's no difference in the amount of the confidence that we have as a group of players. They've worked incredibly hard, and like I said, the focus is very much on Uruguay at the moment, but we have been preparing for the first two games.
Everyone would have been desperate to play this one because it's in Cardiff, and we haven't played in Cardiff before in a World Cup stage, which is extremely rare from any country to experience that, really. So I feel very lucky to be starting whatever the position in Cardiff for our opening match against Uruguay, and be a very proud moment to play a World Cup match at the Millennium Stadium. I think we've got to be respectful that Uruguay be a lot more organised than they were than perhaps when we see them play Japan and Russia in the past. On some of the tapes, they've had a month together since they played, so I think they'll be a lot more organised. But no one knows what a good score is going to be really until a couple of teams play. It's quite a tricky situation to be in first. Obviously, the main thing is you want to get a win. If you're in a bonus point situation, great. Then after that, then it will be foot down for the 80 minutes. So I don't think we'll have no game we play and we'll ease up, because you don't want to look back in 4 weeks' time and wish that you pushed a little bit harder, which is similar to what we had in the Six Nations. If we knew that when we were playing some games earlier on, then but it's just hindsight. But yeah, we will go. I guess that you have to put your foot down with the full 80. The boys who played against Ireland, I don't think we've ever started a campaign that well, apart from perhaps maybe 2012 Grand Slam when we went out there and won the first game away. That's probably the best start we've had to a campaign for about 3 years, so that's given us a heck of a lot of confidence. And even though Italy wasn't the best performance, you've got to give Italy credit. I thought they played well, but say we played the All Blacks and we went well for 60 minutes, we put them under a lot of pressure. The All Blacks, might not have particularly played well, but they still got the win. People say, oh, well, the All Blacks are great, they didn't play well, but they still managed to win. And I guess that was what, we managed to against Italy. We were in a tricky situation, lost a couple of players, very stop-start game, but we still managed to, win ugly, I guess. And, if I could win 7 games in a row in the World Cup like that, I'd bite your arm off. So it was still a win. And then going back to 4 years, I remember we played back-to-back games against England where we lost the first match. We won the second match after doing a bit more rugby. Then we played Argentina at home, and it was basically the Shane Williams show. He scored a solo effort, and people sort of said we didn't play too well. Then we played that first game in the World Cup against South Africa, and we're a worse away from winning. So I think we know that we've had enough preparation together to go into the first and second game of the World Cup, and we can hit the ground running, and there is a lot of confidence in our account from the warm-up games that we've had. It wouldn't surprise me if there was an upset in there. There's some difficult turnarounds for some teams as well. Wouldn't underestimate any team. I think Fiji are a completely different team to what we played against 4 years ago. So, say for example, if you had a game of when we played Fiji from the World Cup 2011, there would be no relevance in watching that whatsoever. Completely different side 4 years round, and I think they're going to be a real threat in the group. Really don't know what's going to happen. It only takes one fixture to sort of turn on its head, really. So we can only focus on one game at a time, and first one's Uruguay, then obviously England after that. It could come down to points. It could be a surprise, and it could be a straight 2 teams who are leading after round 2. We haven't got a clue. I don't think so. But it is wide open for going into the first weekend for sure.
Sorry to bring it up, but given what your last moment in the Rugby World Cup was, an element of, to use a horrible American word, closure for you this weekend?
No, I put that to bed about 3 years, 11 months ago. Really, it has no you know, obviously when people mention it, I'll think about it. And if somebody asks me about 2011, obviously the first thing which comes to my mind is probably, you know, the red card. But going into this one, it's, you know, completely different scenario really, and that doesn't have any bearing on the way I'm going to tackle or anything like that. You know, it feels like ages ago. To fans, it probably feels like it was just around the corner 4 years in the World Cup. But for me, so much has happened since then, you know, individually and as a team, and gone through so much. That experience feels like, you know, almost another lifetime ago.